our mission on Earth is to help people discover tools of how they can heal and tune into their heart a little bit more and follow their own path, like their own Dharma on Earth.
That was Bree and Flo. Hey everyone, Danny Pomploon, and welcome back to another Yogi Misfit Sessions. So we're coming at you with session 119, words are hard, 119 today. And I've got my friends Bree and Flo on the show. They are two of my buddies, and they are up to some really cool things these days. They have a really cool story where they ended up selling all their belongings and moving into an RV, and then they sold all that and decided to travel the world. And really what we talked about is this culture of influencers, mainly because it's been super, it's a big conversation that I've been having. So I wanted to get their insights on it and see what they thought about it and see what, we thought about other teachers out there and sharing their practice and so on and so forth. Flo and Bree are two of the most grounded humans I've ever met. I see them live, eat, and breathe this practice day in and day out. It was a really cool, insightful conversation. I talk a lot about Instagram here and there, and so it's nice to get their opinion on it as well. I hope you guys are enjoying the show and what we've had to offer. As a quick heads up, my yoga app now has some new classes up there. I've unlocked some classes for beginners, and I also added some more meditations on the app for those of you that feel like you need some grounding right now and maybe even just a little bit of decompression. So you can take a look at the app link down below in the show notes. And don't forget to leave us a review on iTunes. If you love the show, give us a shout, say what's up. So much love from San Francisco. And without further ado, here is Bree and Flo on the show. Love you guys. Bree and Flo, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Danny.
Yeah, thank you for having us on.
This is weird because I normally hang out with you guys, and so to have you like not in the room and hanging out with you guys is different.
Yeah.
Yes, we're now in separate rooms and still talking.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
Wait, I have a really important question though. If it's not on Instagram, are we actually doing this?
Let's do a live chat, and you can dial in, you can connect. Then it's happening.
It's so funny. I love that every time we hang out, it's like my first go-to is always, wait, are we putting this on Instagram? Because if not, people aren't going to believe it.
Yep, that's right. If it's not there, then it doesn't happen. That's what I do all the time too. If I don't film that I'm going to jiu-jitsu, then it didn't happen.
Yeah, totally. It's not real life unless you put it on the gram.
Mm-hmm.
How are you guys? How's everything going?
We're doing great. Yeah. Everything's good. Yeah, we're
thriving, being alive. I know that you guys are. You've got your challenge going on YouTube right now.
Yep, we got the 28-day yoga challenge going. It's in the last week now, so last couple of days left, and so far people have been doing amazing from what we can see and hear and emails and messages we get, and we're really proud of everyone and also really grateful to have this platform and to reach so many people so that they can practice anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so it's been pretty cool reading all the stories and messages and emails from people that are stepping on the mat for the first time and discovering movement in their body and a little more stillness in their mind. And it's just been a great experience all around. This is our first challenge we've done. So it was a learning experience for us too, but it's been phenomenal. We're really excited about it. So we'll be announcing the winner next week of the challenge. So it's been fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I love that. I know, just in the beginning phases of my app, and, you guys have been so helpful. I mean, Flo has been so helpful, and Bree, you've been like my cheerleader through everything. But it takes so much work to put this stuff together. for those of you listening out there, like there's just so much work that goes into one simple YouTube video. Like there's just so much that goes into just the process of putting it together and then putting it out. And, I know you guys, like Flo takes, every step of the way to really put this together. And Bree, you support the entire thing. Like it's incredible to see you guys create so much and to not only just create, but create intentionally. There's putting stuff out there, but you guys do it so purposefully in every single step of the way. I love it. It's mind blowing.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We're just going to just beef each other up this entire episode.
Perfect.
That's wonderful.
Compliment hour. I like it.
Yeah, I'm into it. Yeah. We were talking just before we press record. There's so many things that I want to talk to you guys about. Mainly how much I love you guys, but
I love you too.
I love it. There's so many things that I want to talk to you about, and one of the things that I actually failed to mention that I do want to get into is, I talk a lot of trash on Instagram, in a joking way. And, I actually am so grateful for the platform. For those people tuning in, by the grace of Instagram, have met some of my closest friends in the last few years through Instagram, including you two. We kind of cross paths on social media channels. And, I think as, yogis, there's a certain crew of us on Instagram that we kind of keep tabs on each other, and we check in with each other, and we all there's this little online family that we have going on there. And so you two happened to be in Bali the same time I was in Bali, and so was Jacob and Jimmy. And I invited you guys to come to my retreat and to come practice, and you guys showed up, and it was just I don't know, it was so easy and it was so sweet, and it was your guys' energy was just so cool that I was like, all right, this is cool. I'm into that.
Yeah,
New best friends.
Exactly. It just felt right from the very beginning. We talk about this a lot too, and it's nice to surround yourself with people where you don't have to explain your lifestyle and what you're doing. It just flows very naturally already, and so that's how we felt. And so when you're on Instagram and you see all these people there and they're doing the same thing that you're doing on a different part in the world, it's right. Yeah, it's just. It of course has to work out and has to flow very naturally. When you meet in person, then it's like you've been friends for a very long time. It feels very natural. You can really be
right. And then we've seen those people too that they portray themselves as something on Instagram, and they're in real life they're not actual. And it's not to knock those people. I think everyone's just doing the best that they can, and they're getting to know themselves. So we were talking about yoga and BJJ, and then you guys talking about RV life. And what I actually am thinking about, just, off the top of my head, I feel like you guys have done such a great job. One, you guys inspire me to be a better person all the time. But two, you guys have done such a great job at really just turning, not just your practice into, and then you guys live and breathe it, which is amazing. But two, you've really turned it into a tool to create and to inspire, and the word creator in the sense that, you're taking, photography into the yoga world and spreading that through photography. You're taking it through video and spreading it. Bree, you take it through, your teachings and your offerings. Every time you speak, it's just it's like a one-way ticket to the soul. You know what I mean? So what has it been like? I'd love to hear more about just the journey. And you guys have started to figure this out. You went from living in an apartment to, moving into an RV that I'm buying. Yeah. And now you guys are even, going further and traveling, traveling the world, and traveling the world, one, deepening your studies in traveling, and then sharing this with the world, and sharing that journey with the world. What's it been like going through? I know yoga has had a big influence in your life for you guys to simplify and to start to, really dial into what's important. And now you're sharing this with the world. What has that been like, that whole transition?
Yoga has been completely life-changing for us in general, because that's also how we met. For example, that's how Brie and I met. We met through yoga at my very first yoga class many years back. And so it's been such a transformative thing for us. We met here in San Jose, in California, in a studio for my very first yoga class. just to go back a couple of years. And I was into lifting back then, lifting weights, and still already.
Trying to
Yeah,
get swole, Flo?
yeah.
You trying to get swole?
I should show you some photos sometime how I looked back then. But yeah, the very different focus on like body goals or fitness, what I thought is strong and healthy. And but I already had a meditation practice back then, which was very nice to work on the mental health. But yeah, so I got into yoga because of some issues with the body from jiu-jitsu. After many years of skateboarding, jumping down those sets of stairs and all that stuff, it was not the best for my spine. And so I paid for it when I was like 25 or something like that. Hurt my back in jiu-jitsu and then started doing stretches. So it started with the physical, with the body. And so I tried out yoga because I heard they're doing stretches there too, which most of the men think, right? Yoga is stretching and flexibility. And so I went to class, and it was the hardest 1 hour, I think, of my life. And I thought I'm really strong, and I can hold this warrior too, just holding my own arms up, no weight. And it was very hard. And I was like, what is going on? And Bree was next to me in class. We have not met before, and I was like, this girl's not even sweating. How am I dying over here? And then, okay, I'm trying to be cool and pretend it's not hard. But yeah, so it was actually weirdly and oddly enough a Sunday morning class in San Jose, and there was only Bree and I and the instructor. And usually when you come to this class now, it's a packed room. So for some reason, it was just us and the instructor. And of course, we started talking before class a little bit, but then more after class. Because otherwise, it's kind of awkward if we don't talk.
Yeah, it's just the two of us.
Stare each other down.
But
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it went on from there. Maybe you want to continue the story.
Yeah. So it was ended up sort of being a private yoga class accidentally. And I don't know, looking back on it now, we kind of see it as divine energy from the universe.
Totally. Yeah.
Sort of not really giving us a choice to not meet each other. It was just really meant to be. And afterwards, we went and got coffee and acai bowls. And we immediately jumped into talking about the law of attraction in the universe and energy. And
have you skipped all that bullshit? Like, where you? I mean, I asked where you're from, but like, how many siblings do you have? And what's your job? And where did you go to school? Like, all this stuff didn't matter.
Yeah, we kind of jumped over all the quote unquote first date questions, and none of it really mattered. We didn't. I mean, by the end of us talking for half hour over coffee, we didn't even know what the other person did for a living, or where they're from, or anything. It was just we jumped right into sort of the energy work and the metaphysical, and we just clicked. And from our first day meeting, we kind of describe it as sort of just this magnetic pull. Like we had no choice but to. I don't know. It was almost like we just stepped outside of what our society would usually be, questioning or comparing. Like, does this person fit in the boxes? Do they hit all the marks of what I would find in a partner? And we weren't even thinking that. It was just so beyond what we could have imagined as a partnership. And and from there it was. We only hung out for a few times actually. And Flo was in the country for his internship. And then, he had to head back to Germany to finish his master's. And so we'd really only hung out a few times.
Yeah.
And then, and from there we just kept in touch, and we kind of saw it as being a long distance relationship, and it was really difficult. But we started to discover that we really actually needed that time apart to finish our own individual shadow work and, step on the mat and meditate every day. And sometimes that's have great meditations, and sometimes you're just sitting there crying the whole time. And it was really a good opportunity for us to take that time to go within individually without relying on each other or holding each other accountable. It was really just the time in our life where we had to sit down and learn how to take that journey within and talk to ourselves kindly and lovingly. And so that's kind of how we got onto this path. That's how we found each other.
Yeah, so it's It's been very transformative for us individually. It brought us together, and it helped us a lot during the time apart. And so we wanted to share more of that, share yoga with others. We kind of felt that there's this need for us to share our message, that you can actually make it through very challenging things if you keep working on yourself, you put in the work, and it's really all on you to sit down and do the meditation and the practice. And so we wanted to share that more, also inspire others, because we went through that stage and it brought us together. So I feel like there are so many signs that led us on this path to start teaching yoga, and also together too. So start teaching together, not just individually, but also do our workshops together, the retreats together, and just do it as a couple together, because it just means so much to us. And all we're doing really is just sharing our practice and inspiring others that they can do the same. They can achieve their goals. They can find that stillness within. They can quiet down the voice in their head and reconnect to what they truly want, and hopefully follow that. Just like we did and we are doing now.
Yeah.
So we also take the teaching not just in class, and of course through Instagram we want to inspire and share a lot, and also through YouTube. But I feel like we're also just inspiring and sharing and teaching by just doing our thing and just being authentic, being our true selves, and seeing people what we do, letting people see what we do. We quit our well-paid Silicon Valley jobs in tech that we worked for 10 years to get, and we kind of worked to the top there, and then we're leaving all of that to travel and teach and follow our heart. I think just by doing that and leading by example, it's already inspiring for people. So we want to stay authentic, and of course keep sharing through all the platforms, Instagram, YouTube, and in person, to meet even more awesome people like you, Danny, and other teachers, and connect to teachers all around the world, studio owners, bring some more people together, meet with our followers, our subscribers. We build more community. And like you said, it's just amazing, this platform, how it brings everyone together.
Yeah, I mean, there's like with anything else, there's downsides to everything, and I love sarcasm, obviously. Yeah, I know, right? And like I often joke. I mean, I've often joked, like you just put a handstand on Instagram, you never have to do yoga again. But
instant enlightenment, especially if you do a scorpion and the toes touch the forehead, instantly.
Yep.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's like, that's all you need, and then you're done. But the truth is, like, there's actually, there was this recent post that I saw. I forgot where it was, but everyone's same, like stop using Instagram and stop going on, these, and stop, stop looking at all these platforms where you see these things that are unattainable and that, they're making you feel bad about yourself. And it was like, actually, don't stop. Start following people that inspire you. Start following people that make you feel good. Start following people that have positive messages. Start following people that you connect with. Start using this as a tool for good versus a tool for self-deprecation. And, we live in a modern time, obviously, where our phones are glued to us pretty much all the time. And it's the same with people in your life. It's like, I wouldn't surround myself with people that are making me feel bad about myself and so on and so forth. So why would I do that on social media? It's really, it's flipping the script. It's flipping the mindset as well to connect with that, to figure out what it is that, I mean, I hate to say the word, but what you're vibing with and what you're putting out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, a thing that we often say to each other and to friends is that we only want to surround ourselves with the people that we want to become. And if you walk into a room and you're, you have everything together and everyone around you is not there, like you're probably surrounding yourself with the wrong group of people. And, I mean, 10 years ago or so, when Instagram came around and Facebook and all the social media apps, and I mean, let's just say the internet, 20 years ago, the world became flat. Information became so much more accessible for people.
No, wait, actually, Bree, the world's always been flat, just so you know.
Oh yeah, I mean, in a technology sense, everything is connected. I mean, duh. Um, and and so we should really just use that in our benefit, like there's people that have figured out how to do life, and why do you have to reinvent the wheel? Like, you should
Right.
actually just be learning from these people that have taken the time to discover what works best. And that's kind of what we feel like is our mission on earth, is to I mean, that's a very loaded quote, but our mission on earth is to help people discover tools of how they can heal and tune into their heart a little bit more and
Right.
follow their own path, like their own dharma on earth. Because we went through it too. We went through this healing phase of identifying ourselves with our titles and our degrees in college and our, where we work and all this stuff. And,
And we're still working on it, of course. We're still putting in the work every day.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we're just learning to that none of that really matters. That unconditional love and following your heart is really the most important thing that you can do with your life. And yeah, so we kind of blasted through that over the past few years of figuring that out. And we've gone through that phase of healing, and we want to teach other people how to heal too.
Hey guys, this episode is sponsored by BlueBlocks.com. They are advanced blue light filtering eyewear. I have been talking about these for quite a while now. These glasses come in multiple options and stylish frames. I have the clear frame glasses, which help block blue light from your computer because I end up doing a ton of computer work. Then I also got the nighttime ones, and believe it or not, it has helped me get a better night's sleep by just wearing these 1 to 3 hours before the end of my day. I thought it was kind of weird, and I tried it out, and sure enough, it's actually helped me sleep better. I've been rocking these bad boys for quite a while now, and I can't recommend them enough. Go check out our friends over at www.blueblocks.com. That's BLUBLOX.com. And yeah, check out the amazing stylish glasses that they have and get ready for better sleep and less eye strain. How do you guys find balance with, yeah, like I guess my personal struggle is when you do post and when you do put content out there and things like that, being mindful of, like, when you guys, what's your thought process, or when you guys put stuff together? Is it, I know there's, and I didn't understand that until the last maybe couple years or even year. There's an artistic side to this. So some of the stuff isn't just like, oh, look at the poses, but it's actually, there's an art, it's the art behind the photography is also a really cool thing that I never really thought about until, one of the main reasons was meeting Flo and seeing, like, there's a lot of detail that goes into the thing, and it's not necessarily just the shape. When you guys start to put this stuff together and you put it out there, what's the process like, or what's the inquiry like to be like, is this, I always think of with the stuff that I put out, does it pass the 4 gates of speech? Is it kind? Is it honest? Is it in service? That kind of deal. What is it like for you guys?
I think it's very similar. We mostly post about things now, looking at the caption, what we write, what currently is going on in our life, what comes up during our meditations, what we're currently working on, or what we want to share, what just feels authentic to share. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we also get some input from people. When they say, please talk about fasting, or please talk about XYZ, then we write something up that fits that too, if there's a need for it. But it's mostly just sharing what currently is important to us in our life, what we feel like sharing in the captions of what we write. Mm-hmm. And also make it inspiring so people can also learn something from it. And it might be totally against what people know so far. When people find out that we only eat for 2-3 hours a day and the rest of the day we don't eat, and that we eat plant-based, then they're like, but Flo, how do you get the protein? How can you keep your muscles? And all these things that we get so brainwashed into might be really surprising for them. So hopefully they learn and start doing their own research. This is always what we want to do. Keep questioning all the authorities, even us, even what you read from us. When we say you're eating plant-based is good for you, for your health, then question it, do your own research first, and then give it a try. So we hope to also inspire people to think on their own and do their own research.
Got it.
And you're absolutely right about Instagram being a artistic platform. It's really the main purpose of it is it's a photo platform. It's a visual platform to show photography. Now you can also do videos and everything. But the main reason is really to show this gallery of visual things, of nice photos. And so the first thing is really to focus on that nice appearance, that nice grid, and really good photography. And that's where you can put in the art and your passion for photography, maybe learn something new. I also did not know anything about it and started playing around with it, trial and error, and tried things out. And now I think I'm at a point where, to me, this looks pretty good, but I still can improve things, of course. So it's like a thing in progress. So first, the way we see it with Instagram is you have a nice photo. It's visually very appealing. People look at it and they say, "Oh, this looks great," and then they hopefully, after we got their attention, they also read what we have to say, and that's really where the key message is, but where we can really speak from the heart and inspire and share, and everything else we want to put out there is in the text we write. But it starts with a nice photo that looks good.
Yeah, and we're also very strategic about what we're posting and when and the timing. And we use a planning app. So when we're not just posting one photo at a time and trying to think of what to write. And because sometimes thoughts don't come up, like we don't know what to say. And so for us, we pre-plan several posts ahead at times. And so when we're on our walk to go get coffee or, headed somewhere or meditating, we sort of have these insights that hit us, and so we can write up the post ahead of time, and then when the morning comes, we wake up at 5 and we're half asleep or whatever, we can still very easily just log in, post. It takes 30 seconds, and still the message is authentic. It's well put together. It's well written. We're not asleep. And so we are also very strategic about it. We understand that this is a business as well, which we believe is something that a lot of yoga instructors don't fully. You kind of have to have both sides to be able to make money with this. Is not only just sharing love and light and teaching people how to heal and being authentic and following your path, but at the same time, like, this is a business,
right?
And so for us, we kind of see both sides of it, and so that's kind of where we bring in a lot of the project management tools that we've learned, and on productivity and goals and coding and everything from our tech side of our world and event planning in our corporate life, and we bring that into
nerds. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's also the strategy of it. So
yeah, there's so much that goes into it that people don't think about, and
yeah,
you hit a couple really good points, Brie. Like, people forget, like, we're like, listen, and I'll stress this a ton. I know for a fact, especially you two, like, what you guys post, that is you 100% of the time. People that don't know you may be like, I don't know, is this real? But like, I know you, this is real, And in order for me to continue to do this podcast, in order for me to continue to teach yoga, I got to have a roof over my head. I got to have food in my belly, and I've got to have really good coffee.
Yeah, that's probably most important.
Yeah, probably the most important part. Yeah,
coffee. Yeah, coffee and fasting. That's all we need.
Totally. But and so it's like there's that fine balance of yes, I want to. It's an energetic exchange, and in order for us to continue to do this, in order for us to continue to do our work and to help others, we've got to get the energy that goes, and it's a cycle, right? And it provides, and then we get to provide, and it provides, and we get to provide.
Yeah.
And what I love that you said, Brie, that really for me hits home in so many places, because I've had to do my own work about it, is, well, how do I share something that's healing and then try to monetize it at the same time? And it's because money isn't a bad thing at all. It's just money.
Mm-hmm.
It's the energy that we put behind it that makes it
Mhm.
good or bad or whatever. Money is just $1. It's not actually, most of the time, it's not even paper that you get in your hand. It's like a floating number that exists on, what was that thing you called earlier? The internet, I think, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
but it's and what I think about when I have, when I run, the business of yoga workshop, that one I get a lot. People always want to hear about Instagram. People always want to hear about Instagram, like, or, online marketing and things like that. And the thing that I come back to over and over and over again is to remember your why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Always, always, always come back to your why.
Yeah.
Come back to, the word authenticity it's so fucking overplayed. I mean, everyone uses it, but in this case, is always coming back to your authentic message,
Mhm.
speaking from your truth, being honest to where you're at, and following the gates of speech for me is always a huge one. Is it kind? Is it honest? Is it purposeful? Is it going to help?
Yeah.
That in itself, being okay, one. And for us to be able to want to say, it's okay for us to want to make a living as yoga teachers.
Yeah.
It's okay for us to want to make a living as creators.
Yeah.
It's okay for us to want to, support ourselves doing what we love to do. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
This line is very, very fine in the yoga world. When you make money with it, maybe you promote brands, but at the same time, you're talking about mindfulness and having less. So this, for example, this line is very, very thin. So it's a very, very nice balance you have to find there.
Yeah.
And if you're not authentic on the platform, totally, if you meet that person in person, in real life, and if you are connected to, let's say, the energy or to the source a little more, you will feel that missing authenticity very fast. So it's you can hide it on Instagram, but once you meet that person in real life, there's no way of hiding it. You immediately know if this person is really living what they practice, if they're taking yoga into the, like, off the mat, into their day, into the week, into their whole life, or not. There's no way of hiding it. You will see and notice very fast. And we have also met many people that are great and inspiring on Instagram, but in person are not really living the practice.
Yeah. I mean, we've even had to we've turned down several brands that have come to us and want to work with us. And some of them have offered a lot of money. And we have just very confidently said no, because we don't want to support alcohol. We don't want to support beer. We don't want to support plastic water bottle companies. So, we take a step back, and that to us is being authentic on social media too, is like, we're not supporting these brands or pushing out things that we know are not healthy for people or healthy for the environment. The brands that we work with are, more in alignment with us, leading a healthier and happier life. So
I'm just imagining Bree being like, before I settle into my meditation, I just love a shot of Absolute vodka.
Exactly. It really helps me escape the present moment. It's really counterintuitive to my practice.
It's those things like,
or flows over here like, just before I drop into BJJ, I love a sip of Pepsi. Ding.
Really helped with my jiu-jitsu skills.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. So
I agree. There's that fine line, is the brand that you're working with in alignment, and are they? I never promote anything that I've never worked with. I always, when people are like, hey, do you want to work with this, or do you want to, whatever it is, I'm always like, let me actually try it. Let me speak authentically to it. If I love it, I'm happy to back it. If I don't love it, I don't want to talk about it, because that's not real. That's fake.
Yep, absolutely agreed. It's the same way we work with brands too. For sure.
Yep.
Did you guys, I had a really hard, I think we've maybe talked about this. I had a really hard time with the word influencer.
Yeah.
But I think I'm ready to say it. My name is Danny, and I am an influencer.
Hi, we're Bree and Flo, and we're influencers.
Yes.
We actually just talked about this,
Yeah,
Bree
in
and
the
I,
car
on the drive.
yesterday.
Yesterday also we talked about this, and we talked about that there's a lot of influencers out there that let's continue on Instagram, that platform that produce really nice photos, really great photos, especially lots of travel couples. So they for sure know their photography and they're doing a really good job. And like you said, there's a lot that goes into this. But then, like, what are they actually sharing or influencing or inspiring you to do?
Right.
Like
Right.
they create good photos and they're traveling. They work with brands, so of course it's their job. They make money, and it's a hard job too. But there's like, what is behind it? What skills do they have, or what do they share with you that actually helps you in your life? And for us,
Well, I think that's so, that's so uh, something that is so prolific about both of you is like the practice is in you.
yeah,
You guys, there's no faking it. You meet you and you're like, oh shit, they actually do this stuff, and that's what I think is so mind blowing to me is that you guys live and breathe this. I mean, we'll get into conversation and we'll all start to derail it as I do with sarcasm and stupid jokes, and then we always end up being like, well, let's go back into the teachings.
yes,
Yep.
yeah,
Because it's in you. It's in you on a soul level,
yep, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for recognizing that. And
Yeah. And we kind of were, I don't know, felt weird being called influencers for a while because there's such sort of a
Yeah.
negative connotation with it. But
Yeah.
yeah, just yesterday in the car, the topic came up somehow between us, and we were like, no, we're actually proud to be influencers. We're proud to be positively influencing people's life and teaching them how powerful they are and how they can take back control of their life, and that everything that's sort of happening in their life is their own responsibility. And yeah, there's just a lot of love that we're sending to people, and then trying to show them that you can actually discover so much more about yourself if you just sit down and listen to what's going on in your mind and meditate and start moving in your body and investing in yourself. So for us, yeah, being influencers is actually great, and we're happy that people feel positively influenced by us.
yeah,
I mean, you guys have been such a big influence in my life. That's definitely for sure in so many ways, like it's yeah, I mean, I tell you guys this all the time, but you're totally, you've had such an impactful impact on my life and my relationships. And it's just been a blessing to have, it's good to meet you finally, friends. Like,
yeah,
it took us this lifetime, but it's good to see
yeah,
you guys.
or more, or longer. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So glad
All right,
to. We're so happy to see
Bree,
what
I,
you're doing.
I have a
What?
request, Bree, if I can. I'm going to put you
Yeah.
on the spot, but mainly because I love hearing your voice.
All right.
Would you guide us through a quick 1-minute meditation?
Yeah, we didn't even talk about RV life yet, but
I know we have
So
so
many things.
like I feel like we're gonna have to do another episode on. There's so many things I want to talk to you guys about, but
we can do another episode on RV life. Maybe we can film it from the RV when you're in it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Cool. Yeah, let's do 1 minute. Just reset.
All right.
So get comfortable in your seat or on the floor. Uncross your legs if they're crossed. You can place your hands on your thighs or in your lap. Sit nice and tall. Take a deep breath in as you fill up your lungs from the bottom all the way up to the top. Maybe pause at the top for a moment. And exhale, open mouth, let it go. 2 more deep breaths just like this. With each inhale, you sit a little bit taller. And each exhale, you relax the shoulder blades down the back. And just for a moment, you sort of let go of anything you were carrying with you this morning, today, and anything else you have that's coming up. You place your attention on the breath. Notice how cool it feels when it comes in through your nose. How warm it feels when it exits. Just allow yourself the opportunity to fully arrive here and now in this breath. Take 3 more breaths on your own. And then gently blink open the eyes. And welcome yourself back to this space.
Welcome back.
Yeah. You guys, it goes without saying, but I'm going to confess my love on the show too. I love you guys so much, and it's been such an honor and a pleasure and a joy, and all the things that I always tell you guys like every other day. I can't thank you enough for being you and showing up in the world the way that you guys do, and the way that you express and share yourselves and inspire. And I personally am glad that you're an influencer.
Thank you, Danny. We love
Yes.
you too.
Yeah.
So happy that we have you in our life too. It's amazing.
Thank you guys for coming on the show today. I feel like there's going to be many more episodes because there's so many other things that we need to talk about. But I think this needed to be said today. It's like exactly what needed to come out. So I guess this is it, you guys. Until the next Yogi Misfit sessions, this is Danny, Bree, and Flo saying peace out.
Peace out. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.